It is the 11th show ever of the Hutber and Desa show. Oh, it is our surnames. Anyway, I don't know why I'm looking over there. So welcome back to the 11th show. We hope you enjoy it, and it is a show about Lionel. It's not about Lionel, actually. It's about mine, Albert's, and our nows. So just line crease in there just while I'm... Right, Lionel, our now, and myself. We went to a shop, okay?
I didn't.
No, yours is the intro. Oh, wrong one. There you go. Oh, I still got the thing. Anyway, keep going.
You know what? If I was any kind of friend, I would say, you know what, Jamie? Sometimes I'll do the intros. That way, it's not all on you.
No,
But I just enjoy
don't want
watching you
that.
struggle. I just enjoy watching you struggle so much.
So, episode 11. I've enjoyed this. This has been the highlight of my week. Shows. I mean, is that true? No. Did I tell you I sold my Carnifex artwork?
Carnifex artwork. No.
Anyway, that's not on today's episode. Lionel Jamie, yeah, and Albert, we went to a gaming store, basically. We were fed up of not spending time together, so we decided to spend time together. Because last month we did like a whole Saturday where we went and just touched each other. And then we were like, let's do it again in January, and then we had Christmas. No one cares about that. Where did we go? We went to Bad Moon Cafe in South London.
Oh, Bad Moon.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that's the one that you went. This is this is so infamous. This cafe. All I ever see is if you live in London, people posting about Bad Moon Cafe.
Now I have my reservations about it, to be honest with you, because there is no moon. Doesn't matter where you go in that cafe, there's no moon. So I thought they would at least have a logo of a moon, and maybe a naughty moon.
Is it not a play on the orcs? On the Bad Moon orc? Isn't Bad Moon an orc?
Hold on, I've got to fact check this. So there is no moon logo, and there is no orc logo. I have seen the logo, so at least they've got a logo. Anyway, right, besides the logo, it was a little bit far to drive, but that's obviously relative to everything. But as far as the cafe goes, I have to say,
why did you pick that one then? Is it because you'd heard good things about it? If you was far out, or
because we'd heard things about it, and because it was open till 11 p.m. and Dark Sphere closed at 10 p.m. and it was 8:30 p.m. and we were in North London because we'd gone to the Loft with my mother, which is in Enfield. So it was, and we'd obviously had GBK somewhere, and we hadn't had GBK. That was a different day when we met up. So I don't know. Basically, it closed at 11 p.m. and somebody on Facebook recommended it. But Albert and I now had both heard of it, and I obviously, being the sheltered man I am, but not hearing about it didn't take away. I was shocked at how it's a good place. It is quite good. It has a really high ceiling, so when you go in there, you immediately don't feel claustrophobic.
all right.
It had automatic doors, so when you walked in, it opened up straight away. And then there were also women and men there, so that was also a massive bonus. And then immediately,
is it primarily a board game cafe as opposed to a wargaming cafe, or is it
half? Yeah, half. I could do a review on it actually. I might, and there was no smell or anything, so that was also a huge thing. And it's about half because obviously the gaming tables take up a lot more space than the board gaming tables. And there is a real cafe there, so it's a cafe. And you pay £5 and you can use any board game per head. And it was rammed. It was absolutely rammed with happy people. There was one guy behind us who got on our nerves a little bit because he was screaming and he got a little agitated and he screamed even more. And that annoyed a lot of people. But take that aside, it's an amazing place. They've got a shop for Warhammer and paints and brushes, sprays, and all the other games like the Star Wars. No board games on sale that I could see, but a lot of stock on all the different major gaming. So yeah, Marvel Crisis, Games Workshop.
Was there much miniature gaming going on when you were there? Or?
Yes, they were absolutely ram-packed. So there were 9 tables, and they were all in use while we were there. We were a little bit disappointed because we didn't get to game, so we only got to do board gaming.
Had you gone down with armies then?
Yeah, we had Arnau's Blood Angels that he started up, and my elder, and we tried to call ahead, and we didn't get through, and we tried to book on Dark Sphere as well, but you can only book like 3 weeks in advance because it's so people want it's hot. And by the toilets in Bad Moon Cafe, they have a cabinet directly outside the toilets. And we did make a comment because there were 2 cabinets inside the place, and then that one was like a really lonely. And we said we would not want our models in the toilet cabinet, really. And then we discussed. We tried to work out should we leave, and we were like, but we're here now, and the atmosphere was amazing. It was Saturday night. It was absolutely heaving. People were laughing, touching each other, like not in that way, but just like it was like a nice, relaxed, vibrant atmosphere. And the staff at Bad Moon Cafe were lovely, really nice. They were like, when we walked in, I did one of my things where I obviously said a lot of words, didn't really get to any point, and then I was like, I'll see you later, and then we walked off. Because I can't remember what I asked, but it was self-evident. Anyway, they humoured me, and then we played Catan.
Classic.
Yep. And that's it. That's our Bad Moon Cafe experience. So obviously, Lionel, you wanted more gaming related things. No, we couldn't. Just couldn't.
But are you planning on doing this weekly now, or
we said once every 2 weeks? I suggested once a week, and I was met with silence. So I quite quickly then said, "How about once every 2 weeks?" And they go, "Yeah, that could work actually. Once every 2. Good idea, Jamie." I was like, "Yeah, thanks, guys. Thank you." Albert, I think, would actually be up for it because we basically go to his house. Like, Arnau gets a train in and goes to his house, and then I go and pick them up because they're lazy. Because obviously my e-car.
Yeah. See, the difference with mine's literally a 15-minute drive from where I am. I mean, obviously, I know how bad London is, and after visiting and enduring that drive in Tottenham, I'd never want to get in a car again in London. So I can understand why it's whereas our one is open. Boards and Swords, I'm going to have to shout out my one in Derby. Boards and Swords, great owners, Rob and Ian, great community, loads of games across the board being played. It's mostly there, although they've got a board game section, it is mostly miniature gamers and card gamers. It's half and half. So there's an upstairs and half the downstairs is war gaming tables. And then there's about 20 gaming tables where it's Friday Night Magic.
Yeah. Friday Night Magic.
If you're into the cards, it's off the hook, Jamie. That's what the kids say.
Freaky Friday. I suppose they're Friday Night Magic because it's Magic the Gathering, obviously.
Yeah. It's funny, actually, because one of the smallest systems there is actually Warhammer 40k. All the other Horus Heresy's got a big following there, but it's all the other game systems. So I've just started playing and learning. Oh my god,
he's not started learning, has he? He's lying.
I literally don't know the name of the game there. It's a brilliant game based off a card system. Hang on 1 second.
Should I pause?
Malifaux.
What?
No, it's Malifaux.
Never heard of it.
I just started playing Malifaux, MCP. Yeah, so it's one of those that once you get to a good cafe like that, there are so many systems outside the mainstream.
Well, I've got a controversial idea, right? Is that what makes the Warhammer 40,000, maybe Sigma not so much, but 40,000 weak, as it were, gaming system weak, is the fact that you have so many fractions and armies.
Yeah,
and that's
agreed.
Obviously people would be like, that's the enticement. But yeah, exactly. Like, and especially because they release new rules every 2 to 3 years. You would.
You've got a direct comparison with Horus Heresy. Horus Heresy is a much better game and a much better rule set, but it's because it's all just Marines.
Yeah. You don't have to back. Yeah.
So either you make them the same, in which case you lose the flavour from Warhammer 40k, or you keep them diverse, in which case it's impossible to balance. But having now played at my local independent gaming shop and played other game systems, 3 or 4 of the ones I played, I realised how bad GW rule sets are. They're bad.
And so they won't send us those models then.
No. I'm saying Horus Heresy is good. Their independent games are good, like Blood Bowl and stuff, but they're large systems for the very reason you've just outlined are troublesome. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I think it makes total sense, doesn't it? It's basically impossible to get around that fundamentally, because how can you play test that much? Especially when you make iterations quite quickly as well.
Let's get back to your day though.
The day, the magical
we've had
day.
the update, but the thing that went off on our WhatsApp group was you let Arnau and Albert have a rummage.
Did they
in your bag?
They did well from that actually. I think they took like 4 blisters each, courtesy of the Hutber train, the gravy train that was. Not anymore actually. Oh boy, do I owe a lot of money to HMRC. But there you go. Hold on, let's get rid of that.
Okay, so that's where you buried the bodies.
Exactly. So I did rope them into carrying 5 or 6 of the large 84-litre boxes.
So were you going there to catalogue this stuff? Because you've got loads of Oldhammer around your mum's loft, haven't you?
Yeah.
So you went there to what? To sell stuff? To move it to where you live? Why were you going there?
I think it was like we got the day off. I mean, it's a weekend. Hold on.
And then go to bed.
Yeah, right. So I took a while finding it. So I don't know what I just said, but that was it. So we got the whole day, and we were like, what could we do? Last time we watched Avatar, then we went and got food, and then we went back to our house and like look at all the models and stuff. And then this time we were like, yeah, let's go to Jamie's. So it was like, why don't we go? We came up with a whole load of crappy ideas. In the end, we were like, let's go to the loft. Let's then go and get food. Then let's go. I'm sure we did. I don't know. Yeah, right. Then we went back to mine. We did some speed painting together, and then Arnau.
Is that going to be a show?
No.
Is that going to be a show?
Albert didn't want to record. He didn't want to make the effort. And I know Albert watched you lazy. And Arnau might have not minded, but he's too polite to say no. So we could have got Arnau to do it. But Arnau's was Arnau's was really good. The piece, I think I can try and show it. Like it's amazing actually. For 20 minutes, I think we did. And you like, I thought before I started, I was like 20 minutes, I'll do something good. I had some quiet confidence, and the way it came out, I shouldn't have had any. I basically borderline just got the base coats on. So how
base colors up there.
Let me show. I'll show you on now. So it's painfully good. Right. Yeah, so we're in the loft. How do I play? This is us in the loft. It's not going to give you much information.
When you posted this on our WhatsApp group with no context whatsoever, I was like, I did genuinely think it was the Blair Witch Project.
You did make the joke. Like that was us in the loft. I mean, it is. I mean, it's a loft. So, and it's a the loft is full. And then so then obviously we bring all the stuff down, and they have a rummage through. I mean, I think there's like around 1,000 blisters basically.
1,000?
Something, yeah, maybe a bit more now. So there's a lot of blisters. We can't hear it, but they will be able to hear it. So it's just them rummaging through, trying to find blisters that they like the look of.
Is it your intention still to hold on to this stuff? Are you looking to downsize, or?
It's a tricky one. Especially with this tax bill that I've got. But the trouble is, and this is honestly, the problem is just the effort it takes to sell blisters. You know what I mean? Like, It's a huge effort. Like, at least this Carnifex, like, it sold for an unbelievable amount of money. I'm really sad to see it go because I do really like the art piece, but
so you've got rid of that in order to pay the tax bill.
Yeah, basically.
Like, otherwise you wouldn't have.
No way. It's original artwork. I think I'll be surprised.
You know, my wife's exactly the same. Contractors never fail to surprise me. She gets her tax bill end of year. Like she's been a contractor now.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been a contractor now for a professional working life, 10, 15, and she always acts like it's the last thing she expected. And when it's like when she's getting paid and she's not paying tax, she's like that, you know. Make it rain, and then that comes, and it's always like, oh, Lionel, tax bills come through. I wasn't expecting to be that high. I don't suppose. So Muggins here is paying as you earn, as you go along. I'm paying an obscene amount of tax on my salary because I'm on the pay as you earn, and then I'm subbing her tax bill as well.
That would annoy me.
Yeah. So I'm like double taxing.
Yeah.
And she's living this sweet life and going. And every time I'm like, well, maybe you should probably stop contracting and it pays you. Oh no, it works out better for me. Of course, it works out better for you
because you know, we've got a husband to lean on.
Muggins here is. Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
you're exactly the same. You're like, oh yeah, this money's so good. And it's like tax free. Oh, wait a minute, there's a tax bill.
And it's a large tax bill. Well, the thing is, for the first 5 years of my contracting, always put money away. Took like 50% of my wages, put them in a separate account. Tax bill would come in.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you? That surprises me that you did that.
Until I got addicted to Warhammer, there was never any problems, right? Because I had nothing. I couldn't spend the money, if you know what I mean. Like, especially when you're like,
is it your intention to go to the tax office with one of those crates and go,
yeah,
there you go,
mate. Sort that out.
That's to satisfy.
You want your tax? Here's your bloody tax.
In metal men.
Yeah. Basically, I need to. Anyway, we don't need to go into this, but yeah. There's loads of Warhammer, and they. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's one of the original artworks I do have, Lionel, which I know you know. It's the third edition, and that's just now admiring it, as you do. So that was Albert's Hall. Interestingly, the paints are not. He's not keeping them. He's just taken them to test them. But they ended,
so he's open.
But not yet. But they ended up in his flat. So, but the other.
No, but if you're taking him to test them, you're opening them. At which point they have no value.
The paints, I don't keep the paints for value. Actually, the paints are for painting. For me, anyway.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I remember the old chestnut ink, and it was dog.
Yeah.
Even back then, back in the day when
it wasn't good.
It was dog doo-doo. Yeah. So
well,
yeah.
We took those pots and we were going to test them back at mine because we were going back to mine after this. But we forgot. But the 3 blisters there, like Felix and Gorelix.
Gortrix and Felix is done well there. What's the retail on those these days?
Probably 100. I don't know, something like that. I didn't even look it up. Especially
because they don't even have modern versions of them, do they?
No,
or do they? Maybe I think they've got Gortrix. Haven't they got the dwarf? But I don't think they've got Felix.
Bastards. Nice models though, and that blister is in perfect condition. But yeah,
is he intending on painting it then for himself, or is it just going into his collection?
Probably collection. If I know Albert, we don't really open a sealed box. I think he'd rather hunt for already open versions, pay a little bit, and then.
So you've taken a sealed thing that you've held for ages, given it to him, and he will hold it in the same condition for ages. Sounds amazing.
That's true, collectors. I don't know what the others are. I think it was an orc, and then this was our Now's haul that he got from me.
But yeah, so when I saw that is the edition I started on. Yeah, and obviously I remember the miniatures from that, and that's why I fell in love with Blood Angels, because obviously it was a Blood Angels army, wasn't it, on the cover art? Was that John Blanchy?
Yeah.
John Blanchy.
Oh, of course. Yeah, right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, John Blanchy's cover art, and then obviously you had the old Dante there as well, the old Dante like that.
Yeah. Which, like Arnau was like, oh wow, it's this person. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then they tried to explain it to me, and I was like, got nothing.
Did he? Is he intending on painting that as well, or is he going to take it and stick it in a cold dark place and never look at it again?
No, Arnau is a painter. Yeah, he will.
He's an artist.
I don't think I don't think he'll crack this open like the second he gets home or anything. But
it'll be interesting because obviously seeing somebody paint to his standard on second edition models and then gaming with them in a gaming store, you know, it'd be like a combination of like disgust and admiration.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
It'd be like, oh my god, they're so well painted, but the old second generation models, but they're so beautifully. I'd be conflicted seeing them on the table.
I mean, what it will be the opposite for me. I'll be like, oh, he's got that model. He's not painted in the way I like it. Ugh. So for me, it will be the opposite.
In the 90s style.
Yeah, exactly.
He's pleasing nobody. He's pleasing nobody, basically.
This is paint to your strength. Oh, now paint a modern model. Well, what was interesting is we played, you know, the Chibis, the Marvel game.
Yeah.
And obviously,
Marvel United.
Arnau's painted like a load of them, and they're like box art standard. And then we're just playing the game with them, like grabbing them with our fingers and moving them around. It's quite funny, like that when you're that good, you paint to that standard, and everyone just uses them as gaming pieces. But for you and I, like that would be like, don't you fucking touch that. like someone breathed.
Well, I've painted three of them up because obviously I was going to play the game with my daughters.
Yeah. It's a good game.
And even I'm a bit hesitant now to use them with them because obviously they're chocolate fingers and that's nowhere near the standard that Arnau paints at.
That was quite.
But
funny.
yeah, somebody said they're going to give me a tutorial on it. Who knows how to play it, and then I'll come back and teach. Because that's the main reason I backed that.
Yeah,
the main reason I backed it is I thought it'd be something I could play with the girls.
Definitely can.
So it's
It's a relatively basic game, but quite fun and quite fast, which is quite good. I think we played either 2 or 3 maps, and we did it like in an hour and a half or something. So
nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And we'd never played it before.
Who did you use? Which character?
I was Ant-Man.
Oh, were you?
Captain America.
Oh.
They were Black Widow. Ant-Man's amazing, actually. He gets this special move where he can move 2 and attack 3 times. It's pretty good.
Who rocked the Hulk?
Arnau was Hulk.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Albert doesn't really know MCU, and he was Iron Man, and he was just like, I don't know what's going on. But he played...
Well, he reads comic books, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, but more...
Or is it just manga?
Yeah, he doesn't really read the Western stuff. It's disgusting for him, isn't it? Makes him sick.
It's unusual for somebody not to know.
Yeah, any of it.
It's so mainstream.
Yeah. He's watched Endgame first, I think. And then he watched Infinity War.
Classic.
Yeah, and then he watched like Iron Man 1 after that. So yeah, it's all... He doesn't give a shit.
Completely messed up.
Yeah, he's not fussed. Actually, this is too long to pause on that for. This is them looking at my cabinet, though. That's what that is.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Arnau looks very pleased with himself there.
He just loves... He loves the quality of my cabinet. That's what it is. Right, so let me try and zoom in. This is going to be really... That's my daughter's painting, by the way. She's 3. Just quickly.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I'll pause for this. Right, this is the speed painting. I didn't get an up close.
Arnau's is the far left, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at the fucking skin, and those lines are painted. Like that light on his left knee pad is there. Like, and there's blends, and the gems have like, you know, the dot and the ring.
Is Albert's the far right?
No, but I'm glad that you said it.
So Albert's is in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Albert's in the middle, and it's extremely smooth. But throughout the whole time, I could just switch to this. Couldn't I? He was, and because we only have 20 minutes, and like it's like this, it's like go. He was like, guys, the paints are too thin. And we're like, yeah, whatever, Albert. So I think either he didn't get a shaped pot, but yeah, he had no coverage. It's like when you... Oh, right. Oh, did it go to place that?
But speed painting doesn't paint to his strength, does it? Because he is...
Yeah, no. He
is like hours and hours labour of love, so yeah.
But his last speed paint that we did came out really nicely. and relatively smooth. But yeah, you're right. That Arnau had to be the winner in this because his design, he's built for. What the hell is that? Oh, it's an old photo. Right, I see. Right, let me fix this. Yeah, so speed painting, actually thoroughly enjoyable. That is the palettes that we shared. Guess which side Arnau was on. Guess which side I was on.
You shared a palette?
Well, yeah, we don't have enough pallets to go around. I mean, that's a huge baking tray pallet that I've made. So.
Yeah, but so all three of you shared that one pallet.
No. Albert had his own because I've got
Right.
I've got an L-shaped desk, so Albert had a little corner. But yeah, Arnau's is on the right. Obviously, mine's on the left. I just can't. It just went too quick. Oh, interesting. If you look there, you'll see that model I bought from Monty. I've started.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And then these are my cabinet that Arnau and Albert were basically creaming over. Excuse the turn of phrase. That's Juan's. They're all Juan Diaz's sculpts.
I'm well versed in your cabinet, Jamie, particularly the Elder Shelf.
So yeah, thus concludes.
It's interesting actually because I was obviously round yours before we went to where did we go? Italy.
You've never been to my house though.
Your house? Isn't that in your apartment?
Oh fuck, you've been here, haven't you? I forgot that. Yeah. When you dropped off your crap. Ah.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, I never once looked at it.
You make me sick.
I looked at your camera shelf with all the camera gear, but I never looked at it because I've seen so much of it, even to see it in real life.
I told Juan. I told Juan like Albert and Anal were like oppressed, and I was confused at them like enjoying looking at his sculpts because I was like, I'm so used to Lionel just being like, I fucking hate Elder now. You've ruined Elder for me for the rest of my life. Which I was pleased he enjoyed the banter. So yeah, that is my my day off with the boys. I didn't even know what this episode was officially about. Bad Moon Cafe, I guess.
No, it was your foray into gaming again, wasn't it? Your first venture out back into gaming, which hopefully will feed your painting habit if you can get a table.
Yeah, I think we'll probably just play at home, maybe. Yeah. Unless there's like a local club which isn't like a school or something. I don't.
Well, you will be now because obviously with the baby arriving soon, you ain't going nowhere. So you best get yourself a little fold-out table and a little game table.
Just play by myself. We could do like rook to 9-4.
You'll be like, guys, I'm on the night watch for the baby feed, so I've got to be up all night anyway. Who's up for some late night gaming?
Forgot about that. Thanks, mate. Yeah. I did actually forget they require feeding at night time. I should have. I've wasted my life.
It's a magical time, Jamie. It's a magical time.
Beautiful. Anyway, I have to wrap it up because it is 12 p.m. and my daughter's
midnight. I've not had dinner yet.
That's the sacrifice we make for you guys. We love you though, so it's fine.
Your daughter's woken up at midnight.
She just shouted. I heard her, and that's what the woman came in for, saying, "Can you help?"
Your wife.
Yes, She is the woman to me. But yeah, she's my wife. She's not some woman that we just got off the street, who has no name. It's been fun. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you next week, guys. See you later.
Bye.